What's up, curious youngsters? If we're always wasting time doing useless things or watching millions of videos, ending up in those weird YouTube recommendations, why not spend a few minutes on Señor Curiosity Aprendiendo instead? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in 10 minutes, but these aren't just any facts. They're going to leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, here are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. Many artists are experts at making miniature works, but the sculptor Bonio Hachenkodo Jachenko Doldevich takes this to the next level as he creates works of art on the tips of pencils. This artist, known as Toldar, works by carving the graphite of pencils with a scalpel, and he has already made more than 200 mini sculptures using this technique. Did you know that there is an app called Honeygain that pays you for doing nothing? You think this is an ad? Yes, but it's a good one, Timmy, so listen closely. Honeygain is an app that just by installing it lets you start earning money passively, just like that, without doing absolutely anything. What great service. This interesting app uses a tiny portion of your internet connection to gather information from the web, and that is then used by a lot of businesses around the world to improve the user experience. It's completely safe, and by month's end, you'll easily be able to pay for services like Netflix, Twitch Prime, or anything else you want. It's available on Android, Mac OS, and Windows, and the more devices you install it on, the more you'll earn. In the description, I'll leave you the link with Curio's code, which will give you $5 just for signing up. Go download Honeygain, Timmy. Some things seem impossible until someone makes them real. And that was the case of Alex Honnold, a climber who became the first person to climb the 900-meter-high El Capitan rock wall in Yosemite National Park, United States, without any safety equipment. You're so crazy, Alex. Many insects have strong exoskeletons that protect them from predators, but one of them looks totally barbaric. We're talking about the giant spiny cricket, a species that lives in Cameroon, and because it has a striking armor and is easy to breed, is one of the most popular insects to keep as a pet. In California, we can find some of the largest mansions in the United States, and did you know this is what Hearst Mansion looks like? This incredible property belonging to William Hearst, besides being huge, attracts tourists because of how amazing the rooms look. Like in this case, the indoor pool, decorated in a truly striking Roman style. Even though they live underwater, animals have different ways to communicate with each other. And one of the most famous is the one used by walruses, known as cavitation. These animals manage to make very loud noises with their front flippers, similar to a clap, and even if they are many meters apart, other walruses can hear them. Even though we are very different as adults, most animals are similar when we are developing in the womb or in incubated eggs, depending on the species. Did you know this is what a crocodile embryo's nerves and skeleton look like, shown with immunofluorescence? Yes, let's bring in the shocked owl. Electric cars are here to stay, and every day there are more models of this transportation option. But without a doubt, one of the strangest is the Rimono Concert, an electric car designed for two people with the unusual feature of a body made of fabric. If we think of a cabin, we're sure to imagine its beautiful view from the window. And a couple of photographers actually made a cabin that, instead of having walls, has windows. Yes, they built it in West Virginia, United States, and they amazed everyone. In those towns where the creator and inventor of something was born, they usually honor them in some way. And for example, in the hometown of the creator of Mary Poppins, they had the curious idea of installing some rather special traffic lights. In downtown Maryborough, Australia, the pedestrian traffic lights feature the iconic silhouette of Mary Poppins with her umbrella. If we're looking for an exotic place to eat, we can't pass up a visit to Bangkok, since in this city in Thailand, there are restaurants for every taste, including the Khao Hajime Robot Restaurant. A curious restaurant that, as its name suggests, is served by some curious and colorful android waiters. Why so strange, Thailand? Why? In the past, fortresses were key to protecting cities from foreign invasions, and even though today they are just tourist destinations, they are still impressive. And a great example of this is the Ark of Bukhara in Uzbekistan. This enormous fortification covers an area of 4 hectares, and its outer walls have a curious polygon-shaped structure. Maybe you've heard about time capsules, where we can store objects and memories to open them in the future. Did you know there's a huge underground time capsule in Nebraska, United States? It was built in 1975, and with a capacity of 45 tons, it will be opened 50 years later in 2025. Natural pearls can be very valuable, and a special type of pearl known as mellow is one of the rarest in the world. This type of pearl is not formed in an oyster, but in a snail called mellow, and with its intense orange color, it can be worth more than $300,000. Things weren't so safe in the past. And did you know that in the 1950s, there was a children's toy that contained radioactive materials? Known as the Hilbert Atomic Energy Lab, it was a suitcase with dangerous chemical elements that was on the market for a few years, until fortunately, someone studied it and they had to remove it because of how dangerous it was. How horrifying. All small towns have their charm, whether it's because of the landscape, the buildings, or their age. For example, the town of Kandavan has all of these characteristics. This village in the northwest of Iran has existed for 800 years and has some curious cone-shaped stone houses where only about 160 families live. We know that there are some caves that allow us to explore the interior of our planet, but in some places it's not possible to access the depths of the earth, such as the Well of Hell in Barhout Shemin. This natural well remains a mystery for geologists, as they couldn't explore it due to low oxygen and toxic gases. Usually we must give our first and last names for most procedures, but in Myanmar this differs because the local language means people don't have last names. Each country has its own traditions, and some are not so well known. For example, in Iceland, many people believe in the existence of elves, small supernatural beings. That's why they build them little houses called afhal and avoid building roads or buildings too close to where these mysterious creatures are most numerous, according to mythology. Now that's weird, Icelanders. Spiders are known for being great hunters, but did you know they can also hunt snakes? Yes, even though it sounds unbelievable, the spider species known as the black widow has such powerful venom that it can catch and eat snakes much larger than its own size. Some animals have such incredible abilities that they seem like superpowers. For example, the star-nosed mole, which not only has a curious appearance but also surprises us with an amazing skill. This animal is able to smell underwater by exhaling thousands of tiny bubbles, which it then inhales again to extract scent molecules. We know that many insects, even though they are very small, are quite strong. For example, the painted lady butterfly, which, despite being so tiny, is able to fly 14,000 kilometers when it migrates from Africa to Northern Europe. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes humans interfere too much with nature and affect animals. For example, in Hyogo Prefecture, in Japan, to prevent turtles from being run over by trains, in 2015, the Japan Railway Company built small channels so they could cross safely. Well done, folks in Japan. We know that animals evolved to better adapt to the environment where they live, and a good example of this is the Ganges River dolphin. Because they live in murky water and have poor eyesight, they develop tiny, lensless eyes that can only sense light and dark. Many countries are considering solutions to reduce the amount of waste generated in cities. And for example, in the Chinese city of Beijing, it is possible to pay for the subway with plastic bottles. Thanks to some recycling machines installed at the station, users deposit the bottles and in this way get their ticket. Some brands have a different name than what their creators wanted, and in the case of the Spanish chain Zara, we find that it was originally going to be called something else. It was originally going to be called Zorba, after Zorba the Greek, but he changed it after discovering an existing brand with that name. Big cities are usually incredible places, but at the same time a bit stressful. And thinking about this problem, the public park Little Island was opened in New York. This huge green space of 9,000 square meters is floating on the Hudson River, and besides having 300 species of plants, it even has an amphitheater. In some English cities, we can find buildings with boarded up windows, and the reason is that at one time a tax was applied for each window in a house, since it was believed that having many windows indicated wealth. So to prevent the wrestler from losing, to prevent the wrestler Mr. Kurobe from losing, he has become a great friend. So to prevent the wrestler Hyogo, a great friend of Kurobe, from losing among movie fans, there are people willing to pay large sums of money so that the great wrestler Hyogo, Mr. Kurobe, the great wrestler from Hyogo Kurobe, so that the wrestler from Kurobe in Hyogo Kurobe becomes part of a community. He has become a great friend. Mr. Kurobe has become a great friend. He has become a friend so that the wrestler Kurobe doesn't lose. So to prevent the wrestler Kurobe from losing, he has become a great friend of Hyogo Kurobe and has become a great friend to prevent him from losing, a great friend of the community, of the world. This type of ant moves quickly to avoid being burned by the scorching sand of the Sahara Desert, reaching a speed of 3.6 kilometers per hour. Before I go, I'm going to greet those who comment here and on the secondary channels. A big hello to Sharon Jeremy Bonilla, another greeting to John Santa Maria, and a hello to Jonathan Cardoso. Afterwards, I send a greeting to Jordi Posadas, another one to Juan Algarin, and the last greeting goes to the awesome Junior Batista Almesa.